Alright, we are live, we are live, we are live, we're live again, once again. So the government, every African, everywhere, all around the continent, at some point in childhood, in adulthood, they think about a united African government made up of Africans for the interest of Africans. So you see, my African people, it is an honor that YouTube allows us to talk, to open and do a live broadcast talking to the African people. So to the people who are watching us right now, I see you, I see you, I see you. Now, this is something very important, something that is above all and everything, something that needs urgent attention. We are talking about a united government in Africa, and right here on Inside Africa Network with me, Super Nexus. You guys are inside the African Union, the corridors of power, the Addis Ababa headquarters of the African Union, the Johannesburg African Union Parliament in Pretoria. You are inside the decisions being made by the African leaders right now. And I just want to say to you, my friends, whatever the media says, whatever you are attracted to, like whatever you are watching when it comes to news, maybe you are watching CNN, you are watching Fox News, you are watching BBC, or you are watching, African channels, you're watching SABC, you are watching Nigerian this, Ethiopia that, Egypt that, Zimbabwe this, you are watching Botswana this, you are watching Ibrahim Traore all over. You have to listen to this right here on Inside Africa Network TV with me, Super Nexus, because we are talking about the One Africa government and the insiders from the African Union who are telling me exclusively, so that Africans from everywhere, Africans born here in Africa, Africans in the diaspora, and the world, the West, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Asians, who are here because of these kind of topics that are important, that are big, that are viral, and that are worldwide, that everybody in the world is going to be attracted to listen, to click, and they're going to click. So I know you are here, my European brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, American, and the African diaspora, closer to home. You are home. And Africa is doing things through the African Union, through the One Africa government, the pilot projects that are being implemented right now, through the One Africa government, the pilot projects that are being implemented right now from the Afro Gold. We have told you about the Afro Gold, which is the African United Currency, which is under test, by the way, being tested in different regions all across Africa. And only here on Inside Africa can you hear this. So I have said it, and I'm going to say it again. The Inside Africa Network TV channel is going to be big, the mouthpiece of the African Union secret projects, the mouthpiece of the African Union test projects that are important, that as of right now, the African Union has decided that it is time for the African people to know what is happening. Some of you have heard in the past about these kinds of projects have heard about the One Africa military project, the unification of all of the 55 African nations, militaries coming together as one. That is something big. That is something global. And you are going to hear all of that here. And Africa would never be the same. Because this is the beginning of a new beginning. And you see, the good thing is that these things have already happened, tested and approved by our leaders in the African Union. But of course, they had to do it in private. They had to do it secretly because Africa has got many enemies. And I have to repeat this. Africa has got many enemies of our progress. Our unification is a threat to empires, to the greatness of the United States of America, to the greatness or the coming up of the China Empire. Our unification as Africa is a threat to that. So the African Union has no option except keeping every important project, every important movement a secret. And then when it comes out in the way it is coming out right now here on Inside Africa Network TV, it comes out in a way that on a diplomatic, governmental level, political level, China, United States, the European Union, etc., they won't take it as real stuff, which is good for us Africans, because we know what I say here, I Super Nexus. It is the truth. It is what we yearn for, what we seek to establish, and what we are successfully establishing. So, without wasting your time, as I have said, watch live. Africa will never be the same again. You tell us, African people, all of you who are watching us live right now, I see you. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the comments. Africa will never be the same again. Now, tell me, after all of this that I just said, and I see new people just joined us, and I am saying, Africa will never be the same again. And you have to watch the space. You have to stay here connected, tuned, because we are going to be giving you new updates, and you can never get them anywhere else. This is high class, classic, superior intelligence information about the African Union, the corridors that most of us as Africans will never enter. But fortunately, at this moment, as I am speaking, live, on a live broadcast on YouTube, you guys, you, my friend, you are hearing this, and now you know. So stay tuned. Peace.